Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns, liquid air on and slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's good, everybody? Happy Monday to you. Happy free agency to you, because it was a day. It was a lot of things going on very quickly. I was trying to cut a video this afternoon. I was on my lunch break, and then I saw what happened with Milt Williams. Then I got that wrong, because when I started cutting the video, Milt Williams was supposed to go to Carolina. By the time I got the video done, the Patriots had swooped in and stole him. So I had to recut a piece of that video. So if you watch that video, you see I got about a 30-second blip where I got a whole breaking news thing, like, whoop, got that wrong. It was happening hot and heavy, man. It was fast. I mean, it was fast. So, but that's the way it goes, man. Everybody trying to get them primetime players. Everybody trying to get them primetime players, man. So it was no rest for the wicked, man. Everybody was busy. Everybody was making moves. We were making moves. Pittsburgh was making moves. Seattle was making moves. Patriots was making moves. Carolina was making moves. The Jets were making moves. Everybody, man. But first things first, Milt Williams. Milt Williams is going to the Patriots. We thought it was Carolina. Then that flipped on us. And let me be honest with you, I didn't see that coming. I didn't think the Patriots were going to swoop in. I didn't even think they was even in the picture. But you know, that just proves once again everybody guessing. I was looking at stuff. I know Howard Eskin had put on his Twitter that it was Carolina, and then all of a sudden it's just like bam, last minute, you know. And I just laugh at stuff like that, because y'all know how I am about sources. Everybody got sources, but that does not mean that it's correct. Happy Tampering Day. I like that. I like that. Happy Tampering Day. I'm gonna keep that one. Let's make t-shirts. I like that. Happy Tampering Day. Because that's what it was, man. They Patriots swooped in and just changed the complexity, man. Let's see. Oh, dang it. They're not going by the all right. Let's just see. Let's start here with the NFC East. And let's see what the Eagles did. Did we do any transactions, or is this an old page? Hold on. I'm trying to see if there's a page with everything that happened today. Is this it? This was, oh yeah, this was, Lord have mercy, 2023. Good grief. Come on, NFL.com. You wrong, son. All that shit happened today, and you, good grief. Look, trades, signings. Let's see if they have any sign. There we go. There we go. Signings. Vikings, blah, blah, blah. And he still ain't got everything. Come on, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. They still got 2023 season, man. I'm out. Boo. Boo to the NFL.com. They get exposed today. Pickett to Cleveland. I saw that. Bob. Pickett to Cleveland. And let me be honest with you. I had to look up, because I had totally forgotten who Dorian Thompson-Robinson was. I had to look up his highlights, and I was like, oh, that guy, DTR. I remember that. But I had to look it up, and I was like, okay, that makes a little sense. You're getting somebody more aligned with Jalen Hurts. That makes sense. But let me be honest with you. I didn't mind Kenny Pickett. I didn't mind the change up if you're going to use it the right way. But yeah, man, I appreciate Kenny Pickett. He got a ring out of the deal, so good for him. And he probably got a little bit extra money. Um, it is what it is. That's the cost of doing business these days. Everything's changing. You never know what's gonna happen. Um, Danny, you thought today was as expected? The only thing that I haven't seen yet is Becton. Has anybody heard anything about Mekhi Becton? I have not. I'm hoping we'll find a way to keep Becton, but to be honest, there's no rush to get him signed because the only thing you're doing is you can wait on Becton because you're going to find out how much he's worth. And then it's going to set your price on what you're willing to pay. So while I want Becton, I certainly don't believe that there is this crazy urgency to sign him like Zach Bond was. So we knew that Sweat was going to get his money and he got paid. You know what I mean? So props to them. Sweat, man. Sweat was in the perfect situation. Sweat was in the situation that every player wants to be in. Like Scrooge McDuck here dancing in the money bin. Sweat found himself in the perfect situation for a player. And that is he stayed. He probably could have got a better bag sometime last year, but he stayed, gave him a discount. And when we say discount, that just means that he didn't get as much as he probably could somewhere else. But he stayed. They juggled some things around and he made good money. But on top of that, he made good money. He had a great year and he won the Super Bowl. He got the trifecta. And he gets a bigger contract. And he's playing with somebody he knows, going down there with Jonathan Gannon. So he's familiar with him. So Josh Sweat made out. Got a ring. Got a bigger contract. And he's going somewhere where he knows the landscape. He already knows what Jonathan Gannon is about. So I think he's made out the most of this deal. Milt Williams got the most money, I believe. He got a nice contract. So shout out to Milt Williams, man. You earned it, bro. I am happy. As a former player, I am always ecstatic when one of these guys does what he needs to do and earns that paycheck. He didn't have a subpar year in with a bunch of great players at his position. He was one of the tops at his position. Him or Josh Sweat. If it wasn't for the dagger by Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith, you could have argued that Josh Sweat or Milt Williams could have been the MVP of that game. And I'd have been fine with that. I'd have been good with that. You could have even thrown Cooper DeJean in the mix. And I'd have been good with it. Because everybody balled out. I talked about that when I had Dave Spadaro on. To be able to dismantle the Chiefs like we did. And to have legitimately 4 players that could have legitimately been the MVP of that game is just a testament to how good the Eagles were. Because we put it on them. Trying to see if there's anything else coming. Saints re-signing Chase Young, 3 years, $51 million. Okay. Got a nice little paycheck. Kyle Usage. He's being released. Let me be honest with you. I wouldn't mind Usage as a utility back, tight end / fullback. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. He's a weapon. He's versatile. He can block. He can catch. He got a little bit of speed, so he can be shaky in pass patterns. He'll run past some linebackers. I wouldn't mind that. Again, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Cooper Kupp is about to be released. Yeah, I don't know how much Cooper Kupp is worth. Would you want Cooper Kupp rather than Jahan Dotson? I don't know. Cooper Kupp can ball though. Anything else? The 49ers are gonna have, they're gonna be in dire straits, man. So guess what? They're gonna, you know what? They plan it like they should play it, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna pay Brock Purdy, but he's not gonna get no mega contract. He gonna make more money than he would anywhere else. So make your paper, Brock. But he gonna have a team with no playmakers. So the only playmaker he got left is CMC. But who's on the outside? Debo's gone. Brandon Ayuk, isn't he out of there? So it'll be interesting to see. You'll see how good of a pro Purdy is when he doesn't have a bunch of playmakers behind him. That's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Carlos says, not surprised yeah, Isaiah Rodgers doesn't bother me. Isaiah Rodgers does not bother me at all. I kind of wanted to keep Isaiah Rodgers, but I'm a fan of Kelee Ringo, and I want to see him play. And that's exactly what's going to happen next year. So, yes, it's a gamble, but it's a gamble I'm willing to take. Isaiah played well. I kind of wish we could have kept Isaiah, because I would like to see him as the starter from day one under Vic Fangio. That would have made a difference. Because, again, I'm putting Vic Fangio in that same house as Jeff Stoutland. Everybody that Vic Fangio gets makes them better. He makes them better. I don't know what the hell them people down in Miami was talking about. That was an ego-driven thing. Because you got attitudes and you got personalities down there that don't like old school. They don't like that vibe. And they didn't respond to it, even though they had a top 10 defense. And guess what? We had the best defense in the league. We went to the Super Bowl. Defense won the Super Bowl. Like, what else do you want? So all of them people that was bitching and moaning down in Miami, you get what you get. You got to give some to get some. And even at the professional level, you can't always get what you want. There's a reason why those hard-nosed, disciplined type coaches, is the reason why they have a better level of success. You look at Parcells, you look at Jimmy Johnson, you look at Tom Coughlin. I was in Camp Coughlin with the Jaguars that first year he was down there. I was in that camp. He had veterans was like, man, I'm too old for this. He was straight old school. But there's a reason why guys like that, and I know he softened up when he went to New York and they ended up getting a Super Bowl out of it. But it's not like he just abandoned all his old ways. Sometimes the old school works, especially with some of these attitudes and these personalities you got now. They're not used to doing nothing. And anytime you push them, they want to push back. And it's like, okay, that's why your boy in Detroit, he done changed that whole culture around. And they didn't like it. You saw the Hard Knocks. He was begging and pleading with them. You got to trust me, guys. You got to trust me. Dan Campbell, you got to trust me. There's a reason why we hitting so much. There's a reason why we always on the ground, because this new attitude with a lot of these kids, they ain't got it like that. We were built different. When we played in the 90s, when Dan Campbell played, and we were built different, period. We didn't have load management. We didn't have scheduled water breaks. We didn't have nutrition and oxygen tanks. And all we had was tape and an ice tub. That's it. Maybe you got some muscle stem. Maybe you had one of them massage guns. if your treatment department had a lot of money, but we just didn't have the technology that's available today. Now they can you can swallow a pill and they can measure your core temperature to make sure you don't overheat and this, that, and the other. And it's like we didn't have that. I just got heat exhaustion and I had to take my ass back to the locker room. I remember when that happened when I was in college. And you know what? The next day you was back out there at practice doing the same thing in 105-degree weather. We were built different. And the minute you ask somebody from this era, not all, but some of these kids from this era that not used to working that hard, they got a problem with it. Yeah, Carlos Milk got that bag. I ain't mad at him too. Howard Esky with the same fake fur. I got a picture of him with that fur on too. We'll see. We'll see. You say you're not giving no discounts? Okay, maybe I got it wrong about Becton. Maybe I got it wrong about Becton. Maybe, but again, at the end of the day, that's the agent doing what he's supposed to do. Any agent worth his salt, he gonna get the most he can for his client, and he is going to instruct his client, don't talk to the media, don't say nothing to nobody. But I guarantee you, Mekhi Becton does not want to leave Philadelphia because it is not going to be the same wherever he goes. Because wherever he goes, don't be surprised if they move him back to tackle. And he's going to be working for a guy that's not named Jeff Stoutland. So that's a gamble on his part. But again, he already got his bag because he was number 11 pick for the Jets. He was a first rounder. He was a Jets first round pick. They thought he was a bust, but I'm saying that because he already got his bag. He already made his money when you were in the first round. Right? So the money's always an issue, but it's not as important. He got his ring, but does he want to stay in this comfortable situation? Does he want to have a chance to run it back? That's what we got to figure out. So, just like anybody else, he got a decision to make. I'm with you, Nina. I want Becton back. Yeah, Niners having a fire sale, bro. Niners are having a fire sale. What do I think happens to Goddard? I don't know with Goddard. Goddard's a tough one because I like Goddard. I wish we could keep Goddard, and technically we can keep Goddard, but whatever he's asking for, you got to take into consideration. Goddard has been hurt the last 3 seasons. He has not had a complete season. Now, and I understand how people get nicked up and stuff like that in the NFL season, but you got to give me, we at 17 games now. So you got to give me at least 13, 14 games. I'll give you a plus or minus 2. I'll give you a plus or minus 2.5 games. Missing 2.5 games. But when you only playing 10 games or 12 games, and that adds up. He has missed a lot of time. So whatever he's asking for, that's going to work against him. That's going to count against him. So I would like to keep him, but I think there's too many good tight ends that are going to be available in free agency and or the draft. And I think Howie's going to make some moves. But I do like having a tight end that we can just plug in and just like, bro, go get it. He knows what to do. He knows where to be. So that's a tough one, man. I would like to see Dallas Goedert stay, but whatever he's looking for, because he is one of the best tight ends in the league when he's on the field. When he's on the field. So we'll see what they're going to do with that. I think Slay ends up reworked, but staying, and Dallas is staying. Becton. Slay's gone. Slay went to Pittsburgh, didn't he? Or was that fake news too? I thought Slay went to Pittsburgh. Yeah, it says they're pursuing The Chargers are pursuing Steelers free agent Najee Harris. Breaking news. I just saw that. Wait a minute. Najee Harris is signing with the Chargers. 1 year, 9.5 million. Yeah, Darius Slay. Is this Ian Rappaport? Per Schultz report. Slay is heading to Pittsburgh. Okay. Slay is heading to Pittsburgh. It's not official yet. Okay. We got some time, but we'll see what's going to happen. I like Slay. If he comes back, he's not going to start, though. He's not going to start. We need Eli. We need Kelee Ringo in there. I need to see that young fella playing. So Slay would have to have a back seat. And I honestly thought Slay was done because that came out of his mouth. That came out of his mouth. So we'll see what happens. I don't trust Ringo without Slay being here. Ringo has talent, but still needs to develop. At this point, I'm like, hey, let what you call it. Let Fangio do what he does best. Let Fangio do what he does best. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that, but that's the business. That's the business of the NFL. So we got to go. Yeah. I just think Ringo's a 4.37 guy, good size. I just think he needs snaps. He needs snaps. We said the same stuff about Cooper DeJean. He looked a little off when he first got in there. And it was like, just give him time to play. And that's exactly what happens. And that is the same thing with any guy that you get. It's the same exact thing. You will know in short order if he is or isn't the guy that you need. And you mean to tell me we kept Avonte Maddox around for all of that time? If we can deal with that, and don't get it mixed up, Avonte Maddox made some plays, but he wasn't the best option available. He made the most of the time he got in there sometimes. So you got to give these young kids time to play and get out there. You have to take reps with the ones for it to matter, period. And trying to do it in camp just it don't translate all the time. You got to get in game situations. So you got to get him in there and get him at game speed and see what he can do. Howie will use the lack of trade interest in Goddard as leverage tool during negotiations and extension. Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's supposed to do. That's the business of it. That ain't nothing but testing your market. That's what you're supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, if Dallas Goedert demanded that type of attention, he would get it. So it's not, it's one of those things where it's like, don't take it personal. You go out there, find your worth. Josh Sweat went out there and found his worth and got his bag. If he wasn't worth it, they wouldn't have paid him for it. Milt Williams got his bag. Remember when Miles Sanders went to Carolina? Got his bag. Carolina was willing to pay. It just didn't pan out. He got hurt. Hasn't really done anything since. It didn't pan out. That's the gamble. That's the gamble. We got A.J. Brown from Tennessee and gave a pickup for him. And the pick they got to replace him, you ain't heard hiding or hair of him. I can't even remember the dude's name. I can't even remember his name. That's the gamble you take. And what people are really starting to find out these last 3 or 4 years, what people are really starting to not even find out because everybody knew, but I think what people are really starting to admit is that they don't know every damn thing. And just because you say it on a morning television show doesn't make it true. That's the one good thing about social media. You get a lot of bullshit on social media, but you also got a lot of receipts, and you can call people out like, nah, that's not what you said. We couldn't do that 15, 20 years ago. If you didn't have a contact at ESPN, it couldn't be done. So it levels the playing field a little bit. I remember when TMZ was straight tabloid. If you saw something on TMZ, it was not believable whatsoever. Now TMZ is like almost like a reputable source of information. Like it is a reputable source of information. I remember when it wasn't. Oh man, that's TMZ. You know that ain't true. Now they more legit than some of these other big news channels. And it's funny how that whole situation is flipped. But I'm saying all that to say they got us on the same playing field because I can watch film of a game just like them guys at ESPN. I got access to every game just like them guys at NFL Network. So I can see and I can judge for myself. Did this person have a bad game? And that actually puts the people in the studios at a disadvantage because I can watch every game. A lot of times they can't because they got to be on the air and they constantly doing content. We kind of doing the same thing, but at any given time we can stop. Or I can stop in the middle, or I can come to you live and I can fact check on site in real time. They can't do that. Traylon Burks. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oren Burks. I wouldn't mind keeping him. Oh, he signed with the Bengals. Oh, he got $5 million out the deal. Cost of living in Cincinnati is good, so he'll be okay. Yeah, I saw Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. That's a good deal for him. We talked about that earlier. Hey man, don't be disrespecting my Bengals, man. No love for TMZ. I ain't mad at you. And listen, man, don't listen. This is far from over because teams are going to be doing different things the closer we get to the NFL draft because everybody is going to be jockeying for draft position. Didn't. Let me see. Hold on. So the Eagles traded Kenny Pickett to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for DTR and a 5th round pick in this draft. Okay. So now Howie is notorious for moving picks and moving up. He's notorious for that. So when he's gathering all these picks together, and also I keep hearing that rounds 3, 4, and 5 got a lot of good players in them. This is one of those drafts. So, yeah, Quentin, I agree with you 100%. Everybody's looking for that next one. That's the way it goes. You saw Justin Fields went to the Jets. New coach, new situation. You got the attitude out the door. You ain't got to deal with that no more. And I think the Jets are going to be a much better team now that Aaron Rodgers is not there no more. They already had the defense. Robert Saleh got a bad deal. I don't give a damn what anybody say. Robert Saleh is not an offensive coach. And Aaron Rodgers threw him under the bus. And the ownership followed suit. Robert Saleh wasn't the reason they was losing them games. It wasn't Robert Saleh's fault that Aaron Rodgers popped his Achilles without being touched. That ain't Robert Saleh's fault. They defense was tight every year he was there. It was the offense that couldn't get it together. So, he on the West Coast now living his best life. I ain't mad at him. But that's just another example of when a good coach, sometimes they pull the rug out from under him, and ain't nothing you can do. That's the way the game is played, and the game ain't fair. Yeah, Dewad. Eagles are in a great spot. Howie just waiting with his ski mask. The first wave. Uh, yeah. Listen, you already know what Howie's capable of, and he's just watching and waiting. And he gonna mark my words. The closer we get to that draft, he gonna start making more moves. He gonna start making more moves. So we're in a good spot. I don't like the DTR move. Anything I saw from him, I thought he was okay. We didn't see enough of him, but I thought, and you also got to look at the type of offense we trying to run. So now you got a quarterback who plays a similar style than Jalen Hurts. So I'm okay with that. I understand the logic. I ain't mad at that. Yep, please hit that like button. Appreciate you, Cody K. What's up, Pat? Yeah, man. Listen, it's all business. Don't get it twisted. It is all business. This is a results based business. I will tell you firsthand, there are plenty of guys in the NFL that shouldn't be, and there are plenty of guys that should be who aren't. Because sometimes it ain't what you know, it's who you know or what you can do. Um, there are situations where people know somebody that knows somebody. There is nepotism. There is favoritism. There is colorism and any other kind of ism you want to throw in there. Um, so yeah, you got to deal with that, man. Perfect example is look at Zach Bond. Look at Zach Bond. We Zach Bond was a good player, never got his opportunity, lost in the sauce. Guys in front of him that weren't bad players, and they weren't playing bad enough to where they needed to be sat down. So you lost in the sauce until and you hate to say it like this, you waiting for somebody to get hurt. Or, when you in the NFL, there's few and far between when somebody's just that bad. Playing that bad and they got to get moved. Usually it might be a rookie or something like that. You see that more at quarterback when they got to make a move at quarterback because it's obvious. But even at quarterback, the rules get skewed a little bit because if you spent money on a quarterback, the leash is a little bit longer. Now, you saw what's going on in Indianapolis with Anthony Richardson. They trying to unload him already, and ain't nobody biting. Anthony Richardson, if he stays on, they might get rid of him, pay him to be gone, which means they're not going to renew his contract. They're going to either work an agreement so they can cut him and give him a payout. So basically, it's like if you got a fourth year, they want to buy out your contract. So basically, what they're going to say is, we're going to cut you, but if your contract is worth $4 million, we're going to pay you $2.5 million to cut you. And that's the best we can do. And it will be up to the agent to take it. But usually in a situation like that, he'll be in somebody's camp the next year, trying to make a spot. So then you looking at him like, hope you saved your money, because you looking to be a backup somewhere. Because he wasn't ready to start. He wasn't. He was overwhelmed, and that stain of him leaving the game it's going to be hard to get that off of him. It's going to be very hard, because that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Yeah, he did say this year was going to be different. Yes, he did. Pat, I'm with you. I like the DTR move. I 100%. I agree with you 100%. I like it because we got somebody that's similar, not as good, but similar to Jalen Hurts, and we got a pick out of the deal. That's it right there. We got a pick out of the deal. So I'm good with that. Bond, Coop, Carter, Davis, keep the core, and we can add good players around them. Yeah, I agree. What you need on that defensive line is we got Ojomo still. Don't forget that. We still got Ojomo. We still got Ojomo, and don't we still have Booker 4? at D tackle. So we just need somebody to complement Jalen Carter. That's what we need. It might not. It might be another situation like Bond. You might have a diamond in the rough somewhere that just hasn't been, cleaned up yet. So we'll see how that's going to work. We'll see how that's going to go. But we're in good shape. I'm not worried whatsoever. I said this with Tony the other day. Everybody wants Howie Roseman to make a splash move, but people forget anytime you splashing, you're making a mess. So you gotta make sure that your surroundings and your environment is right. You don't want to make a splash move just to make a splash move. Cleveland made a splash move. Do you think that Cleveland is going to win? Who's Cleveland's quarterback? Kenny Pickett now? Kenny Pickett and Jameis Winston going to be battling to be the starter? Is Jameis Winston going to get you to the playoffs? Deshaun Watson's coming back, and that hasn't worked since. Deshaun Watson's mental is gone. Whatever mental edge he used to have when he came out of Clemson and he was playing with the Texans after the trials and all that mess, he ain't the same person. Ain't the same person. Yeah, I'm glad we got Bond back too. That was priority number one in my book. Yeah, Moro Jomo ain't no joke, man. And I think he gonna pay dividends. But again, you got somebody that's gonna complement Jalen Carter. We need his backup. We got to keep that rotation fresh. Because you see, when you got that rotation going and Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Josh Sweat and Milt Williams and Ojomo, and you got all of those people, everybody's running. You always got fresh legs. We hard to beat. I always thought they would trade Kenny for a pick. Exactly. Listen, Kenny Pickett had a winning record in Pittsburgh. A lot of people just conveniently forget that. He had a winning record as a starter for the Steelers. That's got to count for something. And plus, I would like to think that this year's success with Jalen Hurts, him being the Super Bowl MVP, I would like to think the NFL is a copycat league. So a lot of people are playing and teams are maneuvering a little bit, copying what Howie Roseman did. So I want to see what the Jets are going to do with Justin Fields. Because I keep saying this a lot. Justin Fields was really not a drop back. He was really not a running quarterback at O State. He ran a lot, but he was also sitting back in that pocket throwing that rock around. He could do it, and he took advantage when he could, but he wasn't, when I think of a running quarterback, I'm thinking of Michael Vick. Michael Vick just got out of there. So, Chris, I'm very, our player development is tight, man. We good. I'm with you on that one, bro. Yeah, Tyler Steen. A lot of people are down on Tyler Steen, but I'm not. So, he's played solid when he was in, and I think he can have the opportunity to get better. And again, I'm with Stout. Whatever Stout says goes. You can't argue with him. Winston is a free agent? I didn't realize that. Okay. We'll see. Byron Young. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I want to keep Jalen Hunt. He's cheap and he's good. I want to keep him. I do not want to give up Jalen Hunt. Zaire Alexander. Ooh. See, man, these are fluid situations, bro. These are fluid situations, and they just keep going. So I like that. They would all trenches. They just got to protect Caleb Williams. That joker was running for his life, man. Year 3 under Stout is when it clicked for Mailata. Could be similar with Steen. Absolutely, man. You only get better the more you play. You get confidence, you know what to do, and more importantly, you know what not to do. Yeah, I hope they don't. I don't want to see him trade Jalen Hunt. So I don't. Bryce Huff, if his contract is not too crazy, yeah, put him in a trade package while you can. Yeah, he's the future, man. He's gonna be another one of those diamonds in the roughs. Just give him time. Just give him time. So we got a lot of stuff going on, man. It's like I couldn't even get the video done tonight, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. So I'm not gonna be up too long, but we can rock for a little over an hour. It's been 40 minutes right now, so I'm gonna drop the link if anybody want to jump in, ask a question. Definitely gonna drop the link. Because we got anything else happening? I keep checking Twitter because, you know, Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport seem to be the first ones on the scene. Chargers reach agreement with former Steelers Najee Harris to a 1-year deal, $9.25 million, worth up to. So he got to make some incentives and things of that nature. But still, that's a nice payday. 1-year deal for a running back. I ain't mad at that. They wouldn't, but I think Hunt was in the mix because he was just a young. He's trade bait. He's trade bait. What's going on, Carlos? Holla at me.
Coach, salute, baby. What's going on with you?
It's all good, man. A lot of moving and shaking going on in the league.
Hey, we may not have picked up anybody really, but to come out today with 2/3, a 5th, and a 6th round pick, it's not bad.
Hey, man, that's how we going shopping. That's how we going shopping.
Yeah,
because he gonna move them picks on draft day. I'm telling you.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we either gonna do a move like we did with the AJ trade, or we're gonna move up to get somebody.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or I wouldn't put it past him to move down if there's nothing in the first round that he's really looking for. And we at 32.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a team that wants to get somebody very similar to what Kansas City did when they picked up Patrick Mahomes. If you got a team out there that's willing to move up like that to get their guy, you can put some stuff together. And I'm saying that to say, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that everybody wants picks. So if you can move up or move down, if he can trade that 32nd pick and get 2 picks in the second round, because you know somebody's going to be there. You know that, just like Jeremiah Trotter last year, just like Cooper DeJean. We waited on Nolan Smith. We got Nolan Smith at 30. So
yeah,
things like that can happen, man. So
last year's draft was just everything fell in our place. Last year's draft, it was just every player what was it? Who we picked up first? Quinyon. Then we got Coop.
Yep. And the year before we got
Carter and Smith. Yeah. The last I would say drafts going up to Devontae Smith. He pretty much in the first round picked everybody that I wanted coming out of college.
Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't
I wanted all them guys from Georgia.
Howie's batting average has been pretty damn good.
Oh, he learned since the Rieger move, because we could have had Justin Jefferson.
Man, I want to know who filmed that video when Jalen Reagor ran that 4-2-1 or whatever it was. He ran some blazing 40 times, and that's what got him drafted. Because I remember, Mike Leach, his coach at TCU, was on the radio on WIP, and they asked him about Jalen Reagor before the draft, and he was like it was not a good endorsement of him. He was trying to play it off to make it sound good. It just didn't come off well at all. So
he was he's one of them players to me that his style of play wouldn't have lasted long in the NFL unless he was like really good at like one thing. You know what I mean? He was more of a gadget guy. It worked a lot in college because you couldn't touch the guys. So he his skills, like they really came out in college. I'm talking about Rieger. Like he
yeah,
was good.
yeah,
So it's like you have levels of players like that. Like Percy Harvin was another type of, Rieger type of player, gadget guy, but he was really good at kickoffs. He was a good wide receiver. Like
yeah.
Rieger
But
was just too small. He couldn't. And on top of that, I don't know. He just didn't fit our offense.
he,
He just,
it's one of those. To me, it's one of those things where you got to make the offense fit the players, not vice versa. If you got a player that's known for a great example, whoever gets Travis Hunter, whoever gets Travis Hunter, if you are going to play him on offense, you got to make gadget plays for him because that's what he's good at.
true.
That's what he's good at.
True.
So if you're gonna play him like that, also look at somebody like and I'm a big fan of his, KaVontae Turpin. When they got KaVontae Turpin from the USFL, when he was the MVP of the league that year, and I got a soft spot for them dudes because I played in the World League, so I know that grind, trying to make it in another league and trying to make that translate over to the NFL, but you can't fake speed. And when they gave him the stick him back there on kick returns and punt returns, and he started torching everybody. Then slowly but surely, they moved him and made some gadget plays for him. And then they put him out there, put him in motion at X and Y so he can run into a route or a wheel route. When you that fast, you can take the top off, and that opens up everybody else. All I'm saying is when you get guys like that, use them. I don't want to
They
see
just
if
didn't
I
know
get a
how to use him, I
gadget
guess.
guy, I don't want to see him trying to do what AJ Brown does. I don't want to see that.
Right.
That's what we got AJ Brown for.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do what you got to do.
Yeah. Use me to my strengths.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't make it
Use
complicated.
me to my strengths.
Don't make it complicated. I watched Bill Parcells make Julian Edelman a household name.
Huh.
You got one job. Do your one job. That's all you got to do. And Julian Edelman became a household name. Once he did that one job, he got some moves. Use him a little bit more. That's what they did.
Who's the other receiver? Not Wes Welker, the other one that they had before Edelman. They had another white receiver that played for them for a few years, I believe.
For the Patriots?
Yeah. Didn't they have like another little white receiver too before Edelman, or like in between that time? Like he was balling for a little bit or something. I could be thinking about the wrong team, but I think they had another wide receiver.
I can't remember.
What's his name? What was his name? I ain't gonna lie, Edelman would be perfect for. There you go.
Danny
Amendola. Amendola balled for them for a little bit too. He was another one that came out of nowhere and he produced for them.
Shout out to you, Dank Bird Gang. That was in the chat.
I tell you, man, Edelman would have fit perfect on the Eagles with his personality. You ever hear him tell stories?
Yeah, I watch his podcast sometimes. It's just
do you ever hear him tell the story about Randy Moss calling him Edelnut?
Yep. Yep. You just got to be at the right place at the right time with the right people, man.
Yeah.
And we were that team this year. We were that team this year. There you go. You back, Chris? Man. I don't know what happened. You logged out. You good? Uh-oh. We ain't got your audio. Uh-oh. Can't hear you. There you go. Say something now. Can't hear you. Got no audio. I don't know what's going on. Nope. Can't hear him. All right. Let me see. Did anything else happen since we've been talking? I couldn't even finish my daggone video today. So what was what's the final tally on everybody right now? Let me see. We got there we go. Let me see. Good now, Chris?
You got me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you got me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Man, finally my thing was tripping. But
I don't know what happened. But what's going on?
I was gonna say first, man, the money that they doling out, the money that they doling out is pretty crazy, man. Some of these deals that these players is getting today, I think I'm pretty sure you saw what J.C. Horn got, most ever for a DB, 4 years, 100. I think Milton got 26 from the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, for the next 3-4 years. So we knew we was going. But I mean, I don't think it should be a surprise. Yeah, I think we knew we was gonna lose guys. I mean, when you have success like we did, you're gonna lose guys. I think Milton and Sweat was pretty much predicted we was gonna lose them. But like you were saying, I think it was been waiting in the wounds with Jomo and all these other guys and Kelly Ringo.
Yeah.
I think we still got enough to keep going out. And me personally, as good as the defense was this year, I still feel like if you look at the personnel versus what they achieved, the player development was great. So
absolutely,
I got a lot of confidence in Fangio that even when Nakobe went down, I mean, Oren Burke stepped in and did, a great job. So I feel like with the full training camp of having these guys ready to go for week 1, it's a whole, and I think he'll have guys, they'll have to get better at the reps, but I think the player development that Fangio got, I think these guys can still be really good, as they keep getting reps again. So that was my first thing. But I also was going to say, listen, this is why when we talk about sustaining success in the league, quarterback head coach is got to be, what I'm saying? I got the most confidence in QB1 and Sirianni because ever since we had them two, we've been winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always going to be moving parts, especially if you're contending for Super Bowls and winning. Kansas City losing guys left and right every year.
Oh my God, Kansas City, man. They pulled that drain and everybody up out of there.
They won the Super Bowl the year after they let Tyreek go.
But yeah,
Chris Jones is another year older.
Let Tyreek go. So I said to say, but I say that to say, even if next year they probably going to still lose more guys, but as far as I'm concerned, as long as they got Reed in 15, they always going to be taken serious if you ask me, because they just got
but they just lost their best offensive line.
I feel like as long as Jalen continues. Oh, they lost Tunsil, didn't they? Did he go to? Was it Washington?
No, that was you talking about the Texans with Larry Tunsil. I'm talking about Joe Thuney for the Chiefs.
He went to Chicago.
Yeah, Joe Thuney, yeah.
Thuney went to Chicago, so they got to fill that gap.
Yeah, he went to Chicago. So
they just signed the guy from Chicago. They signed the backup left tackle from the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, but he ain't Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney probably gonna go.
No, that's a fact. I was just saying they just signed the guy.
Yeah, but I mean that's just and you said it. That's just the nature of the game. The cap and all that. It's just the nature of having to pay guys and guys want to get paid and leaving. We've lost I think 3-4 starters now from last year's defense already. So it's the nature of the game, especially when you win the Super Bowls, you're going to lose guys. But I feel like as long as we got QB1 and Sirianni and that core nucleus right there on defense, Jalen and Coop, got them guys, I think everything that can
Jalen's going to be the issue because they setting the market now for what Jalen Carter's going to demand next year. Because we gotta re-sign Jalen Carter next year. We have to.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
You already know he gonna get Max Crosby, Myles Garrett type money. Because he that good. So how we gonna have to and I think that he's kind of maneuvering because he sees that coming.
He usually does that the year before that the year is up. He usually signs people the year before the last year. Like if he's gonna add people. He's going to just sign them to the long-term contract right before that last year is up. So, and plus Jeffrey Lurie, remember what I said to you before, Coach? He's the person that negotiates the TV contracts, so they know what they're doing.
So hopefully the cap will go up again.
So
by the time that happens, so we'll see what they're gonna do, man.
I think you will. Yeah.
So, but all right, fellas, I'm planning.
But
I had it on my mind not to go long tonight because I'm trying to get some sleep. The time jump kicking my ass right now, but Thursday.
I woke up dead this morning, Coach.
Hold up. Thursday at 7. Let me make sure my time here. Thursday at 7, I got Irvin Fryer coming on with me. So,
all right.
So Irvin's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Yep. So this Thursday at 7 p.m. So I'm gonna be a little bit early because when I'm getting guys like that, I'm like, dude, tell me when you can come on and I'll make it work.
Okay.
So for him, 7 o'clock is a better time. So I'm gonna have him on. I'm gonna have him on the Thursday. What up?
Hey, Coach, I woke up dead this morning, Coach.
That
hour messed me up, boy.
That night was that Sunday? Sunday night.
Covered it today. Yeah. Oh,
I was messing with a video. I looked up. It was 4:38 in the morning, and I got to report to work at 8. So I was like, oof. Did not mean to do that, man. Yeah, I was on a struggle
I gotta
bus.
get up early myself. Yeah, have a good night, fellas. Coach, I'm gonna holler at you, baby.
All right, man. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate y'all joining me. We had a nice little group tonight, man. We got up to like 30, 40. So, but don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Irvin Fryer is gonna be here, and I am efforting for next week, not this week, but next week. I'm gonna have somebody else. So, trying to get a good guest every week, man. So, y'all stay tuned. Having some good shows. Appreciate the squad. Appreciate the love. Tell your friends about me because you guys know my goal is to hit 10K by my birthday in July. Trying to hit 10,000 subs by July. So got a lot of work to do. Got to keep it moving. So I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all. And I am almost positive we're going to have some more free agency news and some more signings to talk about tomorrow. We just getting started, man. They just coming out the blocks. Just coming out the blocks, and it's going to be crazy. So appreciate you. I'm getting up out of here. Y'all have a good night. I love you. God love you. And be safe. Go Birds. Peace.